Okay, so it should be recording. So what we're going to do now is just review this notion of extruding an elevation to make a voidal cut from an extrusion from plan. Does that make sense? A voidal cut from an extrusion from plan by extruding from elevation. So I'll cancel this. So the first issue we had, and I'm not going to go over it again, is never draw double lines. Or I guess I have to go over it again because I just canceled it. So you can see right now here, it's a little hard to see, but you can tell one of the panels has a double shaded value. By me seeing that, I know there's two lines that were extruded there. All right. So the other thing I can see is there's no top surface and no bottom surface. So if it's not a closed geometry, it's not going to extrude solid. So I want to select this. I don't want to start over. I can select this, edit in place. If I then go ahead and select the entire piece, and you can see it's in two pieces because of that, I can dissolve it. I'll pick the other half. Oops. And dissolve it. And we can see those things didn't even line up. So I want to get rid of all the top geometry, so I can just do a selection. So when you dissolve it, it gives you both top and bottom. And then what I want to do is isolate. I'm going to isolate the extra geometry here and delete actually both of them. And then redraw the line. Should probably doing this on the right level. It's time the So that's all that. Let me see if I hit the control key. If I can get the rest of it. Oops. So it's extruding solid, okay? So it's pretty straightforward to get it to do what it needs to. Now what we can do now is go to an elevation, and we can make the height extra tall. We don't have to stop it there. And again, I'm changing the view to wireframe so we can see through it. So what I want to do now is make this profile so I can cut it. Now, I mean, everybody has to study their own project here. This actually cuts in like this as well. I don't know why this is cutting down like that. I don't know if all those elements. So you got to look at, when you make the cut, like if I were to cut an elevation now, you got to study what the profile is, right? So I don't know this project that detailed, so I'm going to assume, I'm just going to go, I don't know, I'm just going to go down and go across like we did before. All right, so to do that, now again, I'm still in this massing geometry. So what I need to do, I don't know why it's asking this. What I'm going to do now is actually in the ground floor draw a reference plane. So while I'm in this geometry, I can come here to plane and quickly draw a reference plane. And then I can set that by picking it. And then going to an elevation, it asks me right away, where do you want to go? And I'll start drawing. So from here, I'm going to start drawing the arc. Again, we want to make sure we're not on draw on face. Draw on face actually allows you to draw on a 3D surface. So a face is representing some type of surface. We want to make sure we're on work plane. Our work plane that we set current is the one we just drew. So I can zoom in now. and an elevation. Draw the first roof file. Okay, I'm switching to orthogonal. And then what I'm going to do is just extend out. There's all these cuts in, and so I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm just... And again, this has to be a closed shape. And then we're done. Escape, escape, or the modify button. I can pick here, grab the grips, and make things orthogonal. Oops. Okay. Now if we go to the 3D view, we can see this geometry. And basically what we're doing is cutting this away. So we take this now. I always, again, I don't do a void extrude off the bat. I just do a solid so I can control the extrusion and extend it so it goes through the entire object. And then I select it. Under properties, I have the option to change this to a void. And if I hit apply or click off, and then cuts it. So ultimately what we're going to do then, so I can say finish mass. They're saying, I mean, we can do a lot. We're going to do more stuff with this today, especially getting area calculations. But ultimately what I can do is go to architecture roof by face and turn these into real roofs. So now that's a real roof structure. So to make that geometry from scratch would be pretty difficult. But by extruding and cutting, the thickness is based on what type of roof it is. We're not going to get into that today, but eventually we can give it all, we build the roof structure up. And then we can cut through it and have real sections through it. So we can even extend this, you know, we can do things with this still. Add profiles to the edge if it has some type of overhang. Again, it's like, you know, it's bringing a Mack truck to the 7-Eleven to pick up the milk, but if we can control it. And then this is real geometry. So just so you guys understand, the massing is not real geometry. It's just being used to create like the pink foam, you know, model. But once we do that, we can pick surfaces and generate things. In this case, generate a roof. That's a real roof. What's the question? This didn't connect here. I can still make this a roof, but it's going at a different angle, so it's assuming it might be something else. All right.